House Vyroni served the Imperium during the Great Crusade, Horus Heresy, and Era Indomitus. Drawn from the planet of Demaitus III-2, a world of dense forests, mist-shrouded swamps, and towering fortresses, the nobles of Fellwether Keep would inherit the technologies of their forebears from the era of the Age of Technology. Populated by cephalopod mammalian hybrid lifeforms, the gigantic monsters of the swamps would feast upon the human colonists of the planet. Combating the monsters of the planet with their machines drawn from their STCs, the Knights of Vyroni would cast down the creatures and be known as the Godslayers of Demaitus III-2, who would feast upon the flesh of their slain foes. Shedding their blood during the Age of Strife, House Vyroni would sacrifice much of their renewed strength to preserve the innocence of their homeworld, a characteristic which would not be found wanting with their continued years of service. Revered for their sorrowful yet dutiful demeanor, the Knights of Vyroni would stand against the tides of Xenos incursions alone for millennia prior to their reunion with the Imperium. Their homeworld depleted of resources with their continual harrying by their enemies until the arrival of the Dark Angels during the Great Crusade, the fortunes of their house would begin to rise. Known as the Wardens of Fellwether, the Secundus Grade Knight House of the Questoris Imperialis would be among the staunchest defenders of humanity, fighting alongside the Dark Angels, Wordbearers, and Imperial Fists on several campaigns. Their symbol of the crowned white skull, upon an emerald green field adorned with cross lightning bolts, bears homage to their homeworld, with the addition of avian wings to mark their allegiance to the Imperium. Refusing to pledge fealty to any Forge world, the Knight House's fervent independence would prove to be both a boon and a weakness. Serving with distinction during the Great Crusade, House Vyroni would nonetheless suffer heavy casualties during the opening hours of the betrayal of the Horus Heresy. Warned by their Supreme Grand Master, Gaius Jock, the roused Knights of Vyroni would muster in their defiance against the War Master of Chaos. Burdened with the knowledge of their ancestors' continual vigil against the darkness for over 5,000 years, Vyroni would not collapse against the arch-traitor. The forlorn warriors of Demaitus III-2 would charge into battle, their emerald green machines of war tearing through the War Master's ranks. Warned of the betrayal of the Horus Heresy upon their homeworld, House Vyroni would be tricked into desperately pledging their allegiance to the Forge world of Cyclofraith in order to replenish their armaments and supplies. Cyclofraith had sided with the traitors, unbeknownst to House Vyroni, and would attempt to strike a surprise attack against Fellwether Keep to usurp the Knight House. Thwarting their new patron's deception, House Vyroni would defend their home and embark upon the galaxy to aid the Loyalist war effort. Intervening in the Battle of the Coronad Deeps, Crusade of Iron, and defense of the free planets of the Shadow Crusade, House Vyroni would end their deeds of the Horus Heresy, fighting alongside the Legio Gryphonicus during the Battle of Beta Garmon and Siege of Terra. Their shame absolved, House Vyroni still fights to this day, as a stalwart yet battle-wearied house. Revering their knights above their pilots, House Vyroni as a principle of practicality rarely allow for personal heraldry which cannot be easily replaced with each pilot's demise. Adorning their knights with the symbol of their fortified White Tower icon, this honorific proclaims the defense of their ancestral domain of Fellwether Keep. For though they are a rare sight, any subject of the Imperium who sees a Knight of House Vyroni can rest assured that they stand among a true champion of humanity, and that few allies can match their tenacity, resolve, and virtue of their towering guardians.